So hi guys, I've been working at cafes and restaurants since I was 15 and I've noticed something very interesting. The amount of organic waste that they produce. It is simply mind-blowing. And it got me to wonder, where does this food waste go once we throw it away? And in Sydney, your spent coffee grounds and banana peels travel by trucks and trains all the way to Canberra to be decomposed in landfills. That's a major issue, as 1/3 of our bins are organic waste. In fact, approximately 70% of Australia's waste emissions comes from the decomposition of organic matter in landfills. We can do better. An average council around Sydney could save up to $2 million per year simply by diverting 50% of its organic waste. And so at Localcycle, we've created an organic waste management loop that recycles and upcycles organic waste locally instead of letting it go to landfills. The concept is simple. We pick up the organic waste from local cafes, restaurants, and businesses on electric bikes with trailers. What customers pay us is based on the quantity and frequency of the pickup. And then we recycle the waste to create things like mushrooms, compost, and even furniture. We then sell this to local community stakeholders. We chose Sydney CBD as our beachhead market given its high density. To scale the business into the $200 million Australian market, we will create a network of local partners and support them with process, technology, and branding to start a Localcycle in their own community. Studies show that customers are willing to pay more at cafes or restaurants that recycle organic waste. Our customer value proposition is to make the collection of organic waste 60% cheaper for businesses by making patrons pay us an extra 0.5% per card transaction. With our product, we have a competitive advantage in 3 ways. 1, we have a community-minded and environmental brand narrative. 2, the business is highly scalable. And 3, it will be heavily powered by technology and data. We will have an app that will collect data at every step of the chain, such as the amount of waste collected and the carbon savings, and then we will share this with stakeholders to improve community education. Also, our recycling stations will use automated electromagnetic composters that can produce compost in 14 days instead of the historical 8 months. We interviewed 35 stakeholders in Sydney and 1 European company that has been collecting organic waste for the past 2 years and that just raised 2.5 million euros. We learned that 1, they want a simple and personalized solution. For example, some asked us to pick the organic bins up directly from their kitchens. 2, that many individuals wish they could recycle at work in the same way that they do at home. And 3, that restaurants want to showcase being part of our organic waste recycling system as it demonstrates that they prepare fresh food on site. So for our financials, we are aiming to make a profit of $595,000 per year by having a 20% share of our 3,500 customer beachhead market. Our key drivers are customer revenue scalability, partner growth strategy, and the legal framework, which importantly requires all councils to reduce food waste in landfills by 50% in the next 10 years. We will also be creating 25 local jobs where we will employ individuals that are currently marginalised from the workforce, and we intend to create more than 500 jobs in Australia. We are climate positive in our beachhead market. We're saving 1,000 tonnes of CO2 a year by recycling organic food waste instead of using trucks and dumping it in landfills. By upcycling this waste, we also increase the soil carbon stocks by an equivalent of 150 tonnes of CO2 a year. At Localcycle, we are a team of 4 composed of Stefan, who has created and run a successful company for the past 10 years, Helen, who has 15 years experience in innovation and partnerships, myself, a university law student, and Lucy, who, importantly for us, works for councils and the governments on their waste and sustainability programs. And together, our goal is to collect 10% of Australia's organic waste in urban areas by 2030. Thank you.
Thank you. The third picture ready. Let's see what kind of questions the jury has for you. Here's the jury. Who would like to pose the first question to Localcycle? Yes, go ahead.
We're creating an order. Yeah, thank you. Very interesting. How much of the waste that you recover right now are you really using? So I assume it's not 100% efficient. So how much do you manage to reuse in the different applications?
It's 100% efficient, in fact, because either it's organic waste and therefore we can do compost with it, either it's spent coffee ground and we're going to be able to grow mushroom with it. And after all that can also become compost anyway. So it's 100% efficient. The only thing that we can have is if there's some contamination like napkins or knives or forks in the bins.
Okay,
thanks.
Great. Next question from the jury. Yes, Edward.
Yeah, so Stefan, thank you very much for the presentation. And I'm just curious about the regulatory side of things. What sort of regulations do you see as a roadblock to this? Or is there any regulations which you see as a challenge?
Sorry, you break up. Would you mind to restart?
Yeah, I'm looking at it from the perspective of regulatory framework, whether your business, does it need any discussions about policy and regulations, or is just plugging in and going and doing the business?
No, you're right. We need to have, there's some regulation here in Australia, but we're already in contact with the people who are managing that, and we are compliant. The only thing that we will need to pay attention is to make sure that the compost that we're producing is aligned with the regulation here. So then we need to do some controls on a regular basis on the compost that we're gonna deliver and sell at the end.
Okay, there's 1 more minute. So Michelle, I saw your hand as well.
Thank you. Fantastic. I'm fascinated by this. Very simple question. What do you see are the challenges to scale up in other cities?
Sorry, to what?
To scale up in other urban areas.
To stay in, so sorry, I didn't get that.
So what potential of scale up do you have in other regions or cities?
Okay.
Or the obstacles.
Yeah, so the idea in terms of scaling up is we're going to do some partnership with some of our people who are interested to develop that and give them the technology and the branding and the network that we've got for them to be able to scale up. Because otherwise it would be too labor intensive for us to do that. And it's not really what we want to do. We also want to work with local people just to make sure that everybody is on board and we've got a better social impact.
Clear. Thanks so much, jury members. Thanks so much, Localcycle.